Welcome to page 14 of Accel packet number 4. In this packet, we are studying proportional relationships. Let's read our I can statement for the day. Given a graph, I can write an equation to represent the proportional relationship. Remember, the form that our equation will take is k times x equals y. Let's take a look at our graph. Notice in problem number 1, the graph has the characteristics we're looking for. Number 1, the graph is straight, which means it rises at a consistent rate, and it starts at 0, 0. Both features need to be present in order for it to be a proportional relationship. Starts at 0, 0, and it's straight. Please take down these notes at the top of your page. Another critical, important value that we have to calculate is the K rate, the constant of proportionality. Remember, please take down these notes. The K rate will be found by taking y divided by x. Y over x. That ratio gives you the K rate. So, keep in mind, when you view this as an ordered pair, let's go over here to our unit rate. The unit rate is the amount per 1 as a ratio. As an ordered pair, your x, which comes first, will always be 1, and your y will be that amount. We can actually put a k in here rather than an r. This is our unit rate on the coordinate plane. It must have an x of 1, which is down in our denominator, or the bottom of our ratio, and a y, which will represent the K rate, the amount, which is our amount in the numerator. Please take down these notes. And when you're ready, set up a t-table with an x and a y column so that we can study the graph more closely. Pause the video if you need time to take down these notes. Let's take a closer look at our graph. It represents the points earned in game A. In this game, our x-axis is represented with the level. Let's put an x here. And our y-axis, that y-axis represents the number of points. In fact, it's helpful if you write above the letters, x represents the level and y represents the points. We would like to calculate the K rate, which is a ratio of a y value over its x value. And in this case, we know that y represents the points and the x certainly represents the level. So let's grab a few points off this line. Our first point that we want to grab is 1, 50. For level 1, you get 50 points. And then the next one we want to grab is perhaps that next consecutive point. Level 2, you get 100 points. Level 2, 100 points. Now let's take this first ordered pair and write it as a ratio. Y goes on top, 50 points for every one level. If you divide that, what do you get? Well, you get a K rate. 50 divided by 1 gives you a constant of proportionality of 50. That's your K rate. You can check it again with 100 points per 2 levels. But if you divide that, you get 50 again. Once again, a nice, consistent constant of proportionality. So when we write a formula, K times X equals Y, that's our equation, our basic structure, we now know that K is worth 50. 50 times each level X equals Y. Now let's answer some questions now that our information is laid out before us. Depending on what they're asking for, that will control how we write our answer. For example, in letter A, they would like the unit rate, the amount per one. Well, if you look up here, this is the amount per one. So we would write it 50 points per one level. Make sure and write down the units for the numerator and the denominator. In letter B, they say express the unit rate as an ordered pair. Now remember, an ordered pair is made up of an X and a Y. This point right here at 150 is our unit rate. Our Y value is 50 and our X value is 1. So we would write the ordered pair 1, 50. Make sure and put a set of parentheses around that ordered pair. It's required. And lastly, write an equation for letter C, for the relationship. And we know they're talking about this. K times X equals Y. Well, our equation is right here. 50 times X equals Y. So we've written the unit rate as an ordered pair, and then we use that constant of proportionality, that K rate, to write an equation. This completes the video for page 14.